So this is a very large iron smelting setup. So the way it works is it uses coal smelters. So we have coal flowing in from the lower right corner, and the coal goes and it splits off down into these columns. We've got like several columns of coal flowing down between the smelters. So the coal just flows in and splits down into these columns. Then surrounding the columns is the iron coming up. So see how these are reflected. So coming down from above is a huge amount of iron ore. So I was fortunate to have this enormous mine here, and I'm just kind of sucking all the iron ore out of it. Oh, there's one that's all unused. And then the ore, each column comes down here. And then we mix them up with a bunch of these gadgets here. And then we split them out into these double columns. So each column goes down here and feeds pairs of smelters. And they take the ore and they smelt it. It's going to take some ore, take some iron ore, and then some coal. And the coal lasts for a while. See, it's burning this one piece of coal. And now what is the coal is going to smelt many different pieces of iron. But anyway, so I'm converting a little bit of coal and a lot of ore into a bunch of iron. And then the iron's flowing up, and each of these columns gets, this kind of mixes them up, shuffles them all up so there's any gaps. It smooths it out. So now it's getting a bunch of it. 2 out of 10 are going into these storage things here. Oh, I'll turn on the overlay. That's what's in the chest. So this is just storing them in chests. Here is feeding a bunch of other stuff that's off the screen. And now here is a factory for both gears. See, this is converting iron into, oh, but it's all saturated. See, okay, see, the thing you can see, there's little bubbles in here. This is pretty good. It's very dense. You want it, ideally, you want them all packed. But and you don't want them, so see, there's enough coming down here for this last guy that he never has to wait. There's always some food for him to eat. And then he's converting them into these gears. Now the 2 things get merged into, so each conveyor belt can have 2 columns. And now they feed the road thing. See, the road needs to take some iron. It takes this blue thing, takes the iron in. The road takes iron plate and a gear and makes them into a road. So it takes the gear from here and it takes the iron from there. And then, see, this is an inserter. This grabs from here to here. And this is the same one going the other direction. But this is a long-handled inserter that can reach all the way over here. So this is the output that's taking the roads it creates and sticking them on this conveyor belt. And then that gets down there. And then these just grab them off and stick them into chests. So I'm going to have a nice collection of those here. And then if you go off the other screen the other way, I unfortunately had to route this all the way around to my other little workplace. Now we have a little factory for making steel out of iron here that runs on coal. So I'm taking the iron, I'm splitting off some iron here, and then making it go down here. And then each of these little smelters can grab some iron plate and convert it into a steel. It takes some coal and do that as fuel. And then there he goes. It takes a while to make iron, so these don't make as many outputs as they have inputs. It's a lot. So anyway, so now all the iron goes down and gets stuck in chests. And then, anyway, these are factories for science packs. And each of these takes, you have a little cluster here. Basically, your final output is a science pack 2, and that takes one inserter and one transport belt. So this is a transport. This is an inserter factory that's feeding in, and this is a transport belt factory that's feeding in. So this guy has 2 inputs and then outputs a little science pack, and then these guys recursively have different inputs. Okay. So basically, it needs different combinations of copper and iron. So the copper gets copied off here and sent down to this guy that makes copper wire out of it, and then this guy takes the copper wire plus the iron and makes a circuit board, and then those circuits go in to make a little robot, and you also need the gear and some iron, and then the robot goes to make a green science pack, but then it's easier to make a road. Road just needs a gear and iron. It's a road to that guy. So anyway, this is this little graph of flow, because see, both of these guys need gears. So the gear guy is putting the gear onto a conveyor belt that feeds both the road and the inserter. But only one person needs the inserter, so these guys send it directly between them. They don't need to stick it on the road. And just sometimes you need roads just for layout purposes like that. But anyway, so, and you can see it just repeats the pattern 4 times, and each of them just adds, and then it goes into this little storage box, and then it gets stuck onto another conveyor belt. So, and these are red ones, and they're easy to make. It's just a red one just takes copper. Yeah, red takes copper and a gear. So we can just directly feed copper into it. With the gear, we have to feed iron into the gear factory, which feeds into the one side factory. So, and then those output their little science packs there. And then the science packs sit here in the steel chest until they're needed. And we're not researching right now. So if we go research something, then turret damage. Now these guys pick up the science packs and consume them. And you can see them thinking there. It's like the brain cells.